Before we begin, I implore you to go down to the links in the description and do research on the topics I'm going to address in the video below. This video is unscripted and is filled with biases based on my experience in the creepypasta/online horror community. Once again, please look at the descriptions because I want you all to be informed and have your own opinions on this issue outside my own opinions. Thank you. I would like to start with the fact that I harbor no hatred for Mr. Creepypasta and Vincent Vinacava. I have just grown distant and resentful for the way they conduct themselves on and offline. The leaked audio from Mr. Creepypasta's and Vincent Vinacava's podcast has confirmed to me what I always believed to be true. And as more leaks and documents become released via the CreepyLeaks hashtag and other mantles that will be taken up, my opinions can be changed or cemented as more information is revealed. As much as this audio was supposed to be edited out and remained private and unknown to the public, what Vincent Vinacava says about false flagging and use of lawyers to avoid rebuttal does not surprise me. Actually, he has admitted to something similar like this in one of his own stories. This story being Picture This. In Picture This, Vincent Vinacava, as the story attempts to give the illusion that the author is the one committing the acts in this story, is a painter or somebody who wishes to become a well-known painter online, encounters a troll, unable to understand or cope with the criticism the troll presents. Kava, or the painter, goes out and finds the troll, which happens to be a 13-year-old boy. The painter then kills the boy and escapes to California, in which he can change his identity and start his life again as an author of horror stories. And the ending, surprisingly enough, baits the viewers of the story to say something negative to invoke another death. Picture This is very much a work of fiction, but Kava's message in the story is clear to see. Those who criticize him are dead to him. So when somebody, in this case Slimebeast, happened to criticize his use of wanting to trademark and own the word creepypasta for the sale of books, of course, he wanted to hide it. Before I continue, I must make it clear that I am a fan of the works of Slimebeast, as well as agreeing with him with most points that involve the use and narrations of creepypasta and other online written works. This does not mean that I do not believe in fair use. I believe that if a work is transformative enough, It has its right to be on the internet without a problem. I wouldn't have tried to start this channel off with Let's Plays that involve me plagiarizing Pokemon cards in a virtual environment if I didn't believe that. This is where my disillusionment with Mr. Creepypasta stems from. As embarrassing as it is to say, I was briefly subscribed to him. I have a type of anxiety in which being exposed to irrational bursts of horror calms, let's say, meltdowns. So I watched his channel. Even at 10,000 subscribers, he was the most popular channel on YouTube to watch that type of content. Sadly, it wasn't the deletion of Room Zero and Abandoned by Disney that made me realize that Mr. Creepypasta may have not been getting his works that he was reading with the author's permission. I had fallen into the theory that many other people, which even Mr. Creepypasta addresses in the leaked audio, that it was Disney that took down the videos. It was another story, a Rip Van Winkle type story where a person who was addicted to sleeping pills wakes up just in time to see the life that he was missing out on and to witness the apocalypse. I frankly enjoyed this story because I have a great fear of just one day wanting to check out of the world, and I wanted to give my gratitude to someone other than the narrator. When I went down into the video description, I did not find any information on the story or the author's username. What I did find was a lot of links to Mr. Creepypasta stuff. I was sure that by the amount of stories Mr. Creepypasta read, he didn't write all of them, and if he did, why wasn't there a link to where he posted the story, a blog or some type of text document in which we could all read along? I believe that I left a comment asking who the author was. I, to this day, haven't looked to see if I've gotten a response. Frankly, I have checked out, or had checked out, from the creepypasta community for a long time. Not because the community was toxic, as more as it was abusive. In my mind, a toxic community is when the patients run the asylum. The enjoyment of saying that something is ending is more enjoyable than creating something to promote it. The creepypasta community that I will no longer associate with is an abusive one. One where a small wheelhouse seems to own the concept in all it envelops despite adding anything to it, and some misguided or followers or people who want to be a part of said wheelhouse enforcing every word that they say. Well, my experience with the abusive side of Mr. Creepypasta's community was mostly comment section based and things that I could get over with quickly. But I felt it better that I left it at the time. And it wasn't until a combination of being interested in RNGs and the creation of Five Nights at Freddy's, in which I would find a community more suited towards my interests in horror, as well as finding the creator of some of my favorite creepypastas, Slimebeast. This recording was to share my thoughts and experiences in the more well-known aspect of the creepypasta community, and my thoughts on the leaked audio, which once again is linked below. I am open to discussion and am very willing to be proven wrong. I have not counted out the possibility that these recordings might be fraudulent, but I have a strong assertion that if even that was so, there is more information coming out that the community has the right to be made aware of. If you strongly agree or disagree on anything that I've said, I'd happily encourage you to do your own research if you feel like this information is correct and deserves to get noticed by a larger audience. Please share these links and spread the word any way you can. Once again, this was a unscripted video, and if I have said anything that might make you misunderstand the information I am trying to convey, please leave a comment. Thank you to those